Now then guys, thank you for joining Foot Talkers. It's been a hell of a journey so far and the support we've had is absolutely unbelievable, so massive thank you. And on that note guys, if you are new to the channel, click that subscribe button, thumbs up and leave us a comment. It's quality to see what you guys are saying in the comments. Everybody that got back in touch in regards to the future icons, well, that was brilliant. The support we've had off that video alone was just incredible, so again, massive thanks. But today's video guys, it's all about formation tactics, keeping everything as meta as possible if you want to go into FIFA terminology. And what I do and what I always do in terms of doing a formation and giving the tactics, I will play a full week in them tactics and that formation just so that I have the ability to change around every single bit of them tactics to see what works, what doesn't work. Am I just being lucky because I'm playing against crap teams, or is it actually that the formation is really good and a few little bits here and there need tweaking? So let's have a dive straight into this guys, because the idea really is, what you can see here is, this is not how I start a game. I've just put these players in just so that I can go straight in and show you exactly how my team plays and where the positions are and things like that. So let's just start off by showing you the actual team lineup in the 4-2-2-2. It's standard back, that's what I always do. Casemiro and Wayne Rooney are my two centre mids. Dybala, Robin are my two attacking cams, and then I have Eto'o and Neymar up front. But in game, how I go to it, I basically apply pressure on heavy touch. I've tried it on every single one of these. In this formation, I found that when I was on balance, which is what a lot of people will play in this formation, from what I've seen and everything like that, I just felt it were a little bit lethargic. There weren't that boom what I needed, and I'm a fast player like I need it to be quick, and I don't want to be doing a possession game where I'm passing it around at the back and this, that and the other. I need it to be like quick. I'm looking at the map more than the actual players, and if you're the same, these tactics will really do you. They really will. So, like I said, pressure after possession loss. Width, I've gone 4 and 4 for depth. Again, what I did on this one, I altered it up and down massively from 1 up to sort of like 9 and 10. There's absolutely no, it depends what you're going for. Width, to me, I don't understand why anyone would go much higher than this in this formation. 4, 5, and the absolute maximum would be 6. I don't know why you'd go any higher, to be honest, with that, but 4 seemed to do me perfectly, I'll be honest. Depth again, if you was playing this formation in a specific style and you wanted to go into and revert into a 4-2-2-2-2-2-2, like let's say 75 minutes you were chasing a game, all these stats would be completely different, because you'd have constant pressure, you'd have your depth all the way up, you'd have everything different. These tactics are what I'm starting in games. As soon as my subs come on, these tactics come in, and I've been playing at least, obviously, sometimes it can take 15 minutes of game time before you actually get your subs on, and that's when it all changes. But the vast majority of games, I'm playing at least 80 minutes, and it's working amazingly, both defensively and attacking, without feeling like the only reason you can't win the ball back is because the formation doesn't suit your opposition. I'm going to do a video in regards to formations of what works against what formation, because I've noticed whenever I play the 5 back, 5-2-1-2, if anyone plays a 4-4-2, that formation just absolutely batters the 5 at the back. For me, that's how I found it. But that's for a later video. So that's your defensive style there. Offensive, I've gone fast build up here. This is where, once I go, I know I showed you my team up where people are playing, but the instructions on these players are very specific to the style of the tactics that I put in place for this team. So fast build up was brilliant for me. I absolutely loved it in this formation. I felt like if I lost the ball, which obviously everyone does in an attacking present, you're maybe on the edge of their area and you just get a tackle. The pressure was unbelievable, especially because of that press after possession loss. fast build-up. So I found that I had a lot of players forward. The negative of that, what I would be honest with, is because you are playing fast build-up and you've got more players bombing forward, that you are prone to a counter-attack. So if you've got good defensive players or a good defence, you'll be fine. It's just if you're a gung-ho attacking player with every attacking player in your team is like Fernandes in the middle, Rooney in the middle, you know, all those that aren't necessarily an SCN or a Casemiro or Makalele, you know, that's what the people are going for. Defensive style, I've gone quite wide. Again, I typically play, in the vast majority of my formations, I'll play around about 4 or 5, but I found when I knocked this up to 7, it was exactly what I needed. And again, when I show you the tactics of the individual instructions of players, that'll make sense. Players in the box, again, a little bit higher than your balance look, just slightly, nothing major, because this is for the full game. I don't want to be playing a gung-ho formation the whole match because it's just not going to work. You can see here, this could be effective to get numbers in the box, but it could leave you vulnerable for a counter-attack, and that is 100% true. So, that's where I've been playing. Corners, free kicks, like every single video that I do, it's set at 2 and 2, simply because I do not like getting countered against on corners and free kicks. And anyway, I genuinely think this is the most important bit. The tactics are great, but the individual positioning and tactics that you've set for instructions on each player, this is where it marries up to your tactics and it's got to be right. So, again, I never do anything with my goalkeepers, never have done, I never will do. Fullbacks, I've gone attacking run balance. I've not got stay back or anything like that, because that width again when I'm attacking, as you saw in the tactics section, it gives me that space. I've got balance there, conservative interceptions and overlap. That's the same for both fullbacks. That's how I wanted it to be. I've tried them on get forward, but again there was always a bit of a hole at the back. The one thing I would say is if you are looking at using this formation, but you're a little bit concerned about your vulnerability at the back, what I would do in this positioning, depending on who your best attacking fullback is. So for me, my best attacking fullback is Trent. What I would do in this one, I would have join attack on attacking runs or just leave it as balanced. But on Bacice, I would have stay back whilst attacking. So it just gives you that bit of space. And that would also work extremely well with having one of your fullbacks attacking if one of your defensive midfielders was stay back whilst attacking. And again, when you see when I go to Casemiro and Rooney, you'll see what I mean. But just to show you, Puyol and Diego Carlos, they're both standard but then conservative. And then, again, if you've not seen the previous videos, the reason that I have conservative on all my defenders is that is your last line of defence. If you go gung-ho with that aggressive interception, you miss it, which they do sometimes, all of a sudden you've got this massive big hole in behind you and boom, you've conceded a crap goal against an average player, but just because they've got Mbappe or Buchagueno up front, they've managed to sneak in behind you. So, going into Casemiro, I have on defensive behaviour balanced, but attacking support stay back on attacking. So, just to go on about what we're saying about your fullback, for me, like we're saying, Trent is my more attacking fullback. So if I wanted to have him go forward, to have Casemiro at stay back is amazing. And what I would probably do there, because I've got cover wing as default, it automatically creates a little bit of like coverage with Casemiro. Vice versa, if your fullback's better on the left hand side, put what in my position, Rooney is your stay back as opposed to Casemiro. And then Wayne Rooney, on every single formation if you've seen of mine, I always have Wayne Rooney as balanced, just because I think he does everything. I think he's one of the best players in the game for me. And then into my cams on both sides, slightly different because I've got two left footers here. But Robin and Dybala, different types of players, so they've got different types of instructions on them. But the big thing is, and again, just looking at Casemiro and Wayne Rooney, The big thing on this is I've gone aggressive interceptions on Casemiro and just normal for Wayne Rooney, just because I'll leave him balanced. Casemiro, he is a breaker of game. He's good AI, and again, if you've got a defensive midfielder in your team, put aggressive on him. Really does work. And then for my attacking lineup, defensive support, balanced. I'm not bothered about him always coming back or staying forward. I think he could be a bit vulnerable again. Support on crosses, stay on the edge. He's not a big guy. He's not going to get too many headers really, but he is going to whip it in top bins when he's got it on his left foot on the edge of the area. I find, you might be the same, that tactic doesn't necessarily work all the time for me, even though it's down to stay on the edge of the box for a cross, but it is what it is. Positioning on Dybala, free roam, simply because I like that ability for when Trent's bombing forward. I've often found that Dybala will creep into almost like a central attacking midfielder role as opposed to just being on that right hand side, and it works incredibly well. And then onto Robin, slightly different again, balanced again on defence, stay on the edge of the box or across, because again his heading is absolutely atrocious. But if you have got beast headers, if you weirdly wanted to play Ronaldo in one of these positions, you would want him to get into the box. It's different instructions for different players. This is the instructions that works amazingly well for me. But often people allow smaller players like a Mertens or something like that in these positions, and it works incredibly well. But yeah, for Robin, balanced defensive support, stay on the edge of the box, drift wide for Robin because I want that crossing ability on that left hand side. And again, with my attacking players, aggressive interception. It's just like I was saying earlier, if you lose that ball on the edge of on the attacking box, you've just had your game broken down by a bad pass or a great tackle. All of a sudden, because I've got Robin, Dybala, Casemiro on aggressive, boom, they're on them so quickly. It's so effective. So I'd really advise you to go for that one. And again, because I've got a left footer on that side, I've gone drift wide. He's not got the greatest right foot. So again, if you was doing it slightly different and you had a right footer on the left hand side, I maybe change that up and I would go for, wherever it is. There should be one on there. Should there not? Oh, I always thought they were cutting, come inside, but clearly not. So on that form, I probably put free roam again on that. But for me, with Robin, it worked better having him as drift wide, so I can ping them crosses in early doors to Eto'o. So anyway, they're my cams in this formation. Works great. And then finally, my strikers in game. What I'd always say is have a right footer on your left side and a left footer on your right side, or use a 5-star on either side, like with Neymar. Don't matter what foot, the guy's going to score you a goal, easy peasy. So anyway, Eto'o, supporting runs. I don't want him to be going drifting anywhere. I don't want him specifically down the centre. I want him to have that ability to run between the lines of players. Attacking, getting behind. Aggression again, just like Dybala and Robin. Do everything possible to get that ball back as quick as possible. And again, that works with the tactics of press after possession loss. And then stay forward with Eto'o. There's no point in him coming back. He's a striker, he's not a defender. He's not going to do anything really. So anyway, that's my main striker, I'd say, in Eto'o. And then Neymar, exactly the same, because I don't need him to drift wide because I've got Trent there, I've got Dybala there. I want him in the middle or have the ability to go wherever he wants. Neymar is the most skillful player in the game. He can do what he wants where he wants. That's how I see it. But again, slightly different if you have different types of players. If you've got a bigger style player like a Lewandowski or something like that, he is class. He doesn't fit the meta as such, but if you know how to play with bigger build players, he is absolutely awesome. And if that were the case, there is a reason I will go in there. What I would do on this, as opposed to having both my strikers going in behind, I would have it either as a target man or a false 9. False 9 works very well with a player like Bobby Firmino or somebody that's like a Neymar would be good at that position, but because of his pace, I just have to have him getting behind, and it pays off enormously. But look, that is my in-game tactics for this formation, and if you wanted to take even just half of the tactics of this, it wouldn't work. I'm telling you, you know, like the instructions and the tactics have got to be a match basically. There's no point in having on your tactics drop back or whatever it might be. You know, if you had drop back, but then you had, let's say, on your instructions for individual players, you had something like stay forward, you know, concert or aggressive interceptions, but you're asking your players to drop back. It just doesn't work. You want to have everything in line, and the only difference is, and what I would say is that if you've got those slightly different individual players, then yeah, absolutely change your form, like your specific players' roles, as I was mentioning with having a left footer on that side or a right footer on the other side. It's just what you wanted to do really, and it will work. Honestly, trust me on that one. And I played a full week with this. I'm going to go on to the next formation, which I'm currently doing right now. Play a week with that. I'll upload the other one next week as well, just so you know that everything that I'm giving you is from absolute thorough, like drilling that formation. Not all of them will be good formations, but I genuinely think this is one of the most powerful formations you can play. A lot of people obviously go for the 4-2-3-1, but I do like having 2 strikers in my team. Even when I play the 5 at the back, I've got 2 strikers. But yeah, I genuinely think if you've not played with this formation or you've not really fiddled around too much with the tactics, try this out, guys. I promise you. Have a bash with it. Let me know in the comments how you got on. But that's it. That's it for today's video in regards to the 4-2-2-2-2-2. Hopefully it was of some use to you and you liked it. And if it is and you like the channel, check out the previous videos as well on other formations. They're all slightly different. But leave us a thumbs up. If you're new, subscribe. For all you guys that are currently already subscribed, thanks for coming back. It means a hell of a lot. And yeah, for today, guys, that's everything. Toodaloo.